So today, things seem to be changing at a faster pace than ever before. There's new technologies, new competitors, and new opportunities. And that means it's increasingly difficult for leaders to know how to respond in their organizations. So some critical skills that we believe you, as academics, we believe you need to possess when you're managing an organization is to be able to very succinctly scan your environment and understand what opportunities and threats might be out there, new technologies, new competitors, new employees, new partners. What exactly is there that is out there? You need to be aware of that and be constantly on top of that piece. But that by itself is not enough. You then need to really understand what it is you do as an organization, and work out how you can match your capabilities, enhance your capabilities, so that you can work out, why am I different? Why do I have some competitive advantage? And then use that to appeal to the market. And there might be an existing market or a market you see emerging. And there are so many markets emerging at the moment that it means there's lots of opportunity, but it's going to take work and a lot of kind of detailed effort to really capture that. It's a really tricky question to think about how digital is really impacting how we do strategy. And it's tricky because the core of how we do strategy remains the same. We really have to understand the marketplace, and we really have to understand what our place in the marketplace is. How are we distinctive? How can we find some competitive advantage and capture it by selling some product or service idea to the right marketplace? That's the essence of strategy. When you throw digital in, the trick is that those opportunities can change slightly. So perhaps the most top of mind one right now is AI technologies, ChatGPT, so many new innovations coming. AI is fantastic, right? It creates a new resource of the data that we have. So we suddenly have a new set of resources around data, and we have to work out how to use them. It creates the opportunity for new capabilities using AI and working out how that might impact our existing capabilities. And then you have to work out, with this set of new resources and capabilities, who do we sell it to and how? And in particular, as the market evolves, how do we kind of lock up a position in the market for the future? And that's very, very complicated. So AI and data is one piece. A second digital technology that we really need to worry and think about is the connection between businesses that is much closer now, much more transparent, much more integrated as digital platforms take over different spaces in the market. And so you need to be thinking about your role in creating or participating in digital platforms, and how you can both work out a way to contribute value to that platform, but also take your right share of that. And that might involve planning for the future as well. So, platform competition is going to be a big piece of the digital world that you move into. And then lastly, I think there's just a whole lot of opportunity. There's access to new markets, access to new ideas, access to new products that were much harder and more costly to find before. And now they're much easier to source and creatively find ways of seeking. So using digital technologies to kind of access the crowd out there, the crowd of ideas and information, product, services, in a clever way. If you can do that better than others, there's another real source of advantage, and that will shape and change your strategy. In strategy execution, I think the thing we're struggling with now is how much is planning and how much is real strategy making. And a plan is not really a strategy. A strategy is about making choices, choosing the things that you want to be good at, the customers you want to market to, so you're positioned well to win in some market space. And detailed plans, you can create them, but they're going to change over time. So you need to distinguish between the choices you make and the detailed plans that follow, and be ready to be flexible with those plans as you learn. But critical is making the choices. So first I would say, don't overplan, but be very crisp on making strategic choices. That's the number one concern I would have in making and executing strategy. So the second thing about executing strategy, where I think many companies can go wrong, is it's one thing to make choices, to have a strategy, but it's another thing to credibly act on them. And that typically involves major shifts in your resources. So moving, mobilizing resources across the organization, selling things you don't want to be in 5 years' time, and buying things you do. And that may be kind of shocking to the organization and to key stakeholders, but if you can convince them of the choices you're making and the direction you're going in, and you make those great moves, then you can shift your strategy. If you try to tweak things around the edges, nothing really changes and there's no success. So being bold and moving resources, I think, is the other critical piece.